Okay, and in a weather alert now, flooding is not the only concern with our high spring temperatures. Avalanches like this one have kept Little Cottonwood Canyon closed for days now. UDOT sharing this video of an avalanche up the canyon yesterday. This from their helicopter. Check that out. Still no estimated time for the reopening at this point.
That slide is just amazing to see from that view.
And those avalanche crews have been dealing with that all winter. And now we're just ramping up the amount of times that we see this during the day, and we have high avalanche danger right now. I want to show you just the Wasatch, and it's not just the Wasatch, the Bear River Range, but the western Uintas underneath that high category. That's why these closures are happening. We saw that rapid warm up, and we've got a lot of snow, so natural slides as well as human trigger slides out there. Our avalanche warning will hold on until 6 a.m. tomorrow. We have seen this extended several times this week. It does include not just the Wasatch Mountains, but the Oakers, the Stansbury Mountains, the Wellsville, northwest corner of the state. Really, some of our valleys also looking at the potential here because really our benches, because of our foothills. So we know that this is why the avalanche warning has been posted. Any slope less than 30 degrees is dangerous, and we want to be extremely careful. We've been talking about that all week, and the threat persists. Cloud cover in our valleys as we take that live look from St. George. Still mild out there, 79 degrees, and we know the clouds are streaming in from the southwest. We're also seeing that southerly component to the wind. Satellite radar shows us that stationary front where it's parked, but this main storm system is going to move in, and it's going to push that through the state, but we get clouds and winds ahead of it. Here at the ABC4 studios, we've watched the flag, that southerly component, keeping us in the mid-70s. We were the low 80s yesterday, and even with a weak front coming through, cooling us a few degrees, we're still way above average. 61 is typically where we fall this time of year. Wind gusts in Salt Lake, Provo, and in the West Desert. Notable there, 31-mile-per-hour gusts in St. George. Gust here in Salt Lake, and we're not going to see that ease until the front passes through. Now, we do have the chance a little later on of seeing the threat of a thunderstorm, mainly in Box Elder County, but there's not a tremendous amount of moisture potential there. But that's as this organized front comes through and the main event of this storm. Let's walk through it here with Futurecast. You're going to see that stationary boundary move. Here we go by 7 a.m. So tonight, we're going to start to see valley rain filling in. Valley rain, mountain snow setup to start. But by 7 a.m., you can see in northern Utah towards Cache Valley and over the mountains, we're going to see some sloppy spring snow. In our valleys, that's not likely to accumulate. Now, Logan is a bit of an exception because they get colder temperatures, but notice the rain down into Kaysville, Salt Lake County, and then over towards the Tooele and Rush valleys. We have the potential of seeing valley rain with the temperatures staying where they are, but again, some sloppy snow could mix in. Now, that's not going to accumulate because we have warm surface temperatures, but we watch as that moisture and that front moves to the east. By 8 p.m., things are quiet, but we're not done. Some trailing energy into Friday morning means that we get showery in northern Utah by the morning and afternoon hours, so you can't rule out a shower or two. If temperatures are cold enough, that will be snow, mixed precip possible, or even some raindrops. After that, we start to quiet down and we get a warming trend as we make it through the weekend. Now, when we talk about snow, the mountains will pick up additional snowfall. Hopefully, the colder air will freeze us a little bit and slow some of this runoff, but you can see the high country doing the best here. 2 to 8 inches for the northern mountains, the higher end in the cottonwoods, the lower end further north. We could see a trace to an inch on the valley floor, but again, expecting valley rain that could mix with sloppy conditions. We've seen that happen before, and the temperature profile is kind of right there. So something we're going to watch. 30s and 40s for daytime highs. Talk about a drastic temperature drop. We were in the low 80s yesterday. We're going to only make it to the upper 40s tomorrow. The cold front coming in, doing its job. Northwesterly flow behind it. 50s, 60s, and 70s on the eastern side of the state, 40s and 50s for the I-15 corridor, 70s in St. George, and the threat of wet weather is going to be there for tomorrow on top of noticeably cooler temperatures. That's going to be something we feel, a shock to the system after this very quick warm-up. We do rebound temperature-wise and get clearer conditions for the weekend. 70s turn to 80s in St. George. The winds picking up by the middle of next week. We're monitoring closely if we could get some wet weather with the system coming through. Wasatch Front has that mixed chance. An isolated chance early Friday, as I showed you, a little more showery. As we make it to the weekend, we do get high pressure returning. The warmth goes to the 60s, to the 70s, and then Monday looks pretty nice. The winds pick up Tuesday, and we see the chance of wet weather by the middle of next week. We, of course, will keep you posted. We'll be right back.